Yo, yo, what's going down, boys? Back with another video, as I said. Got another one for you guys, bro. Um, don't think I'm gonna be sleeping anytime soon. My energy is lit, like 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? That SR energy is crazy, man. Um, Let me hit the intro. It's your boy Sebastian, aka Seb Waddles, aka Seb Conscious. All right, I'm back with my English accents or my regular accents. You know, that other character was that's my side personality. You never know. Who can come out of the woodwork. You know what I'm saying, guys? So, man, I've been meaning to do that for a little bit. That was funny. So let's see. It's your boy Sebastian, aka Sub Waddles, aka Subconscious, back with another video. I hope this video finds you guys at a good spot in your day, as always. And on this channel, I like to talk about my experience here in this crazy world and how to help others rise from spiritual death, putting down the toxic behavior, and getting on a journey of self-development and self-love. All right, guys, that's what we like to talk about here. Guys, let's talk about pain for a little bit. Let's talk about pain and suffering, man. The title for this video is going to be Suffering is Where You Learn the Most Important Things About Your Life. Suffering. Pain is the best teacher that we have available. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see a lot of people that have been through a lot of different pain, a lot of different painful stuff, stories, and we've had a lot of death in their life, addiction, alcoholism, anything like that. All right, guys, you'll notice that these type of people are very wise. They're like old souls. They're like at a certain age, but they're wise beyond their years because they've been through a lot of pain. They've been through a lot of stuff. Pain makes you stronger. Pain makes you wiser. All right, guys. So we should, really look at all the, bad experiences, negative experiences as, a lesson. I know it's hard in the moment. Trust me, it's very, very hard. To deal with grief and loss and all that stuff. But if you can tap in with God, God can get you through anything. All right, God can really get you through anything, and you got to look at all these experiences as lessons. All right, guys, because I've been through a lot of pain myself. I've talked about it a lot. I've gone through addiction stuff, alcoholism. I've been through a lot of stuff. You guys, believe it or not, a lot of people don't realize that. When they see me, when I tell them, that I used to have like issues with drugs. I got addicted to Xanax when I was a kid, in high school, and Percocets, pain medication. When I went to the dentist, I ended up getting some Vicodins, and I got hooked on that. I went to rehab a few times, you guys, and now I don't do any types of substances because I know exactly where that will lead, but I was very, very lost, for a long period of time, and it was a lot of suffering, through those experiences. So shout out to anybody else who is in sobriety and, in recovery and stuff like that, man. You guys are, strong, and trust me, I'm with you. I'm riding with you on the journey. It's so crazy to me because as soon as I went on SR, you guys, like SR and putting God first has literally, I'm not going to say it's cured my alcoholism or like cured like the fact that, but I don't go to as many of the meetings and stuff like that, the sober stuff. I don't really do it anymore because I'm so tapped in with God. Like SR got me to like a whole other spiritual plane to where I'm like, it's crazy. I've just like, it does so much good for you, you guys. SR like heals you inside and out, and and God can really heal you from a lot of different stuff. So let's get back on it, guys. So we're all born into this world, guys, pure spirits. You know what I'm saying? We're all born, children, and all we know is love, right? And that's why you see kids that are always, so small and they're running around tapped in. Their imagination is lit. They're over there in the sandbox, playing with fake, silverware, having tea parties and all this fake stuff, building castles and imagining all this crazy stuff. It's all love, until we learn fear. All right, that's how it works. Until we learn fear, and then we all start to go down different paths. And once that happens, and then there's lots of different variables onto why this could happen. Your parents, it could be your childhood, the way that you were raised. There's a lot of different reasons why this could happen, guys. But if we end up off the path for however long, what I just explained, my experience, with drugs, alcohol, partying, and all that stuff. Living worldly, it's different for everybody. I know, let me know, it doesn't matter. We're all experiencing the same thing: pain, suffering, for an extended period of time, right? You're living worldly and stuff like that. You will end up feeling it later at some point. If you're living worldly and you're engaging in all that stuff, you're not putting God first, living a spiritual lifestyle, it's going to come back to you. You're going to end up suffering. All right, guys? But the beautiful thing that I've learned, is that suffering is the greatest teacher that there is, guys. Suffering is where you learn the deep truths about yourself, and you can really go in there and find out. And it takes like a really, really low moment, because you can have suffering for years and years and years and years, and you can still put that wall up, and you can still be fighting back, and you could still be saying no, to the change and God's message, and really going within and doing shadow work and really changing. A lot of people do that for years. They'll do it their whole life, and they end up passing away, a drug addict or an alcoholic. They're drinking the bottle until the day that they die. It's sad. It's super sad, man. But you're suffering. I'm telling you guys, this is where you learn the real meaty, meat and potatoes, man, of yourself. And you go in there, you can do shadow work, because only when you hit that rock bottom moment, you guys, that is where you can really see where exactly you need to be. You can see that your lifestyle that you've been living is not working. It is not working whatsoever. So you need to be able to shift gears and really, bro, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. You have to be willing to put all that stuff down, or else you're just going to continue on. If you don't, you're going to just keep living that same life. You're still going to be miserable, man. You got to dial it in, figure out what it is. And that takes going within, figuring out how you tick, figuring out what you've been doing, looking at your behaviors, taking the inventory of what you've been doing, all that stuff, man. You have to take an honest look, and you have to cut all that stuff out. All right, you got to change everything. All right, so only when you hit that rock bottom is when you can really see where you need to be. You could go forever, like, here's like level surface and rock bottom's down here. You keep going to halfway here, you're not going to learn your lesson. It has to be a real painful rock bottom, for you to really see, like, wow, I really need to change some stuff, and I know there's a lot of different areas that we could talk about. So whatever it is for you, so you can relate to this video, that's what it is. All right, guys? That's when you understand on a very, very deep level, through suffering, very deep level, that you need to make some changes. You need to make some tweaks. All right, guys? And this is the only way that you can experience this, That's why you'll see a lot of people, man, people that haven't been through a lot of pain in their life, and they've kind of just coasted through life. They've had a lot of money. They've had, they end up like materialistic, and they end up a lot of them. I'm not going to say everyone, but you'll notice. Let me know if you guys can relate. But that's why you'll see people who are super rich, and they're snooty, and they're arrogant, and it's because they haven't been through a lick of pain, and they haven't been through what you've been through. So they're out here acting crazy. They're out here acting arrogant and snooty, and they don't know how to treat people, because they haven't really had tough life lessons to let them understand the truth of what's all going on. That we're all equal, and we're all the same, and we're all, we should be loving each other, bro. All of us. And you should never judge anybody. You should always treat each other like, your brother or your sister, right? So that's how it should be out here, So suffering and pain also creates character and perseverance, which is a beautiful thing. So you got to understand, and the Bible says this too. I wanted to quote this verse, but it's James chapter 1, and it basically says that, God tells us that we're supposed to celebrate our trials and our tribulations in life, because there's a lesson to be learned from those things. That's the message from that passage is, he's basically saying rejoice whenever you have trials and tribulations. So basically be happy when you're going through some stuff, because there's an upgrade on the way. If you can get through it and endure it, whatever it is, man, addiction, whatever it could be, a death, people in a family or a friend, anything serious like that, if you can get through it, you're going to have a spiritual upgrade on the other side, because you persevered and you endured, and God blesses you for that. God always blesses you for that. If you can get through it, stay strong, and not go back to your old vomit, your old ways, and doing all that stuff, God blesses you for that stuff, you guys. So perseverance creates strength. You know, I said that to my aunt the other day. I was talking to my aunt, and you know, she said, "I'm so glad you're doing so good and better. You know, I was worried about you for years, however long. You know, when I was, you know, tripping, I was out here partying, doing drugs, and chasing women, and just acting irresponsible." She was like, "You know, I was really worried about you." But I told her, you know, it was all for a reason. And she goes, "You know, what was that reason?" And I said, "Now I'm stronger. You know, now I'm way stronger. You know, now that I'm on SR, I'm way stronger." You know, I know you guys can relate, but that's how it is, man. It's a trip, bro. Going on this spiritual pathway and this journey, man. It is the absolute trip. So hopefully y'all got something out of this, man. Suffering is where you learn the most important lessons of your life. So anytime you're going through some hard stuff, bro, if you just went through a breakup, if you guys are addicted to anything, because I've had a lot of people hitting me up asking, because they're on different drugs and addiction. Guys, don't be ashamed to go get help. Go to rehab, you know what I'm saying? Go see a therapist. Do all this stuff. You know, take care of it, man. And understand that this is where you're going to be learning about yourself. All right, this is where you're going to be learning the deep truths about yourself. Pain is the greatest teacher that we have. That's where you really start to learn. But you got to give into it. You got to lean in. You can't avoid it, bro. You can't put your wall up and pretend like, you know, you're not, you know, experiencing it. You got to feel it. You got to lean into the pain. That's how you get the blessing. So, much love, guys, as always. Hopefully I'll learn something from this video. And I will catch you guys next time, man. Much love. Peace. Hope you guys are staying strong, all right? Talk to y'all later.